Hello, my name is AJ Budgets, and I am new here on YouTube. Been a long time viewer, especially with the budgeting community. I've been budgeting for about 7 years, off and on. The last 5 years, I've been doing it very consistently. I have, in the last 7 years, paid off over $30,000 in credit card debt, paid off my student loans, paid off my car, and I am currently living in Missouri. I lived in Las Vegas for 20 years and I'm a teacher. So when I moved back to Missouri after my divorce, I've been divorced for about 18 months now, I took a massive pay reduction. So I make about a third of what I made in Las Vegas. Missouri does have a lower cost of living. However, I went from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. So when I had a 2-income household, me and my husband, we split the bills 50-50. So my 50% of the bills was a little less than what I pay for 100% of the bills here in Missouri. So not only did my pay reduce by 66%, my expenses did increase a little bit as well. So I've been in Missouri for about 18 months now, a little over, almost 18 months, a little over a year. And I have been doing my best, struggling. I recently realized I haven't been saving as much as I wanted to grow my current savings. And so I thought if I jumped on and started doing YouTube videos, hopefully that'll help me stay a little bit more accountable. So a little bit about me and my budgeting style. I do this my own way. The cool thing about the budgeting system is you find the system that works for you, and what works for you might not work for somebody else, and what works for me might not work for you. That's cool. Whatever you do, whatever you figure out to help yourself stay on track and stay on budget and meet your financial goals, you do you, boo. So this is how I do it. I was pretty good. I've been really good, actually. For the last 10 years, I have an electronic budget sheet, and I budget out like my annual pay. I've been lucky enough to be salary for the last 10 years. And so I know I'm going to get a very consistent paycheck every single month, or, well, Missouri pays once a month. In Nevada, I got paid twice a month. But I knew my paychecks were going to be very consistent throughout the year. And then I would do extra jobs or have extra income or little side hustles here or there and have extra income that I would budget. But I've been very lucky that I could do like a 12-month kind of overview so I can figure out what are my yearly goals and then how am I going to budget each paycheck in order to meet those goals. With that being said, I've done all of that electronically, but I was still struggling to keep money in my savings account because I would see it in my savings account and be like, oh, well, I have X amount of money, so that means I can go shopping, or I can just spend a little bit on Amazon, or I can just spend a little bit here or there. No big deal. I can go out to eat. We can go to the bar. We can go down to the strip, like whatever. And then all of a sudden all of my hard work that I had laid out for the year we'd come to the end of the year and I wouldn't have anything to show for all of that hard work. So I started watching budgeting YouTube videos over COVID. And I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do. However, I tried to do the actual cash stuffing where I go and physically get cash and then stuff cash, and I can't. I'm just gonna be very honest. I struggle to get to the bank. I work a lot of hours after school, do a lot of after school programs, or like homebound where I'm working with students until 5 or 6 o'clock at night. The bank isn't always open. The ATMs only give out 20s. It was like a whole ordeal. And then I noticed when I was stuffing cash, it was just kind of a hot mess. I don't know. Also, I really like to have money in my high yield savings accounts and my money market accounts so that my money's working for me in multiple ways. And so I came to the conclusion that I needed to stuff fake money. And so on Amazon, you can buy little money packets and it looks just like real money. But it's not, it's paper, and it's for movie productions. This is motion picture purposes. I use it for budgeting purposes. I found that when I physically stuff money into, even though it's fake money, if I physically stuff it into an envelope, I will think twice about spending it because I've worked really hard to get it in the envelope and I don't want to take it out. And so this has worked for me for the last 5 years. I've been very consistent over the last 5 years. And I have saved a lot of money and I've been able to travel a lot. Those are my two goals, is to save money and to travel. And that is where we're at. So we're going to start with my January 2026 paycheck. I only get paid once a month. I don't get paid until the 20th. But like I said, I budget like a year out in advance, so I kind of know what I want to do with my paycheck. And so since I stuff the fake money, when I have time, I go ahead and get everything ready. That way when it gets to my payday, I'm ready to go and stuff my paycheck. Right now I'm on winter break, so I have some extra time. So we're going to do this today, and you're going to come along with me for the journey. So, okay, I am ready to work out my monthly budget. So I need to get down my incomes and then some of my expenses. Mine, this came pre-done, and I really like how cute these are, so I'm going to use them, but I am going to white out the categories so that I can put in my own categories. And I kind of do things by binders. So I budget by binder as I'm doing my annual budget, kind of decide like how much per binder I want to put in per month. So with that being said, let's talk about my income. So I have I have a couple checking accounts. So in my cash stuff, or my stuffing binder checking account, which is where we're going to budget this, the remainder of my paycheck goes in here, which is $1,899.01. That is not my monthly salary. That's what's left over after my mortgage and my utilities goes into my bills checking account. So I have bills. I'm on monthly pay or even pay for all my utilities, and then my mortgage is a fixed amount. So all of that goes into my bills checking account, and then it just gets auto drafted. I do check that once a month. Those evened out pays, or the even pay over 12 months on the utilities, every year they reevaluate. I do get 30 to 45 day notice if that changes, and then I can adjust how much I get puts over into that account. So this is what's left over. I am salary, and I have been salary for about 10 years, which makes it very nice to budget because I have a fixed or set dollar amount. And then I do extra duty things on top of my salary job or side hustles where I can get extra income. But I know when I do my budget, I just base my annual budget off of the set amount that I'm going to get every month. And whatever comes in extra is just extra money, and I can kind of figure out what I want to do with it whenever or if I get that money. So I do have a second income coming in this month, and it will be $675. I do have a $125 variance in this that's unbudgeted right now, because I don't know if they're taking out taxes in retirement. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't on extra duty. So I just kind of leave a little bit of money in case they do take that out. And then if they don't, I just act like it's a savings challenge that I just finished, and I kind of figure it out when I get paid. So we'll be doing that together next month whenever I see what my true paycheck for that is. So those are my two amounts. So if we add these together, my total income is going to be $2,574.01 for January. Okay, so where are things going? We are going to be going into my sinking. My sinking funds is going to get $707. Oh, my doggo said hello. In my the black binder, I'm putting $525, and we'll go over all of these, and then I'm gonna pull the money out of my accordion fake money situation right here. My personal, which is my pink binder, it's $175. I'm going to be pulling for my CC allowance $50. Savings challenges, we're going to pull $171 out of this check. I'm going to be writing a cash check for $60 for my weekly spending cash. Verizon is a bill I have set up to come out of this checking account for some reason, and it's just been like that for years now, so I doubt I'll change it. My bills binder is going to be getting 111, or not my bills binder. my bills that get automatically put on my credit card. I play the points game, so every bill that I can and all of my monthly spending goes on my credit cards, so I get points. I go on about 6 trips a year, and I maybe have to pay for 1 hotel room a night. Everything else gets paid for on points, which is amazing. And then extra duty, I will be budgeting all of that except for that $125, but we are going to include it whenever I pull for that money. So it will be $675. Okay, so that means I'm gonna put binders and then my cash and cell phone. So cash and cell is going to be, that's $157, and then my binders are getting, and then extra duty is kind of its own thing, so that's going to be minus $675, and then this is going to be minus $17.39. Okay, which leaves me with $3.99. I try to get as close to zero as I can. I like to have like a few dollars left over, just, I don't know, in case I have to Venmo somebody a couple dollars or whatever. I usually have a buffer in my account because I have to have a minimum balance in my money market, so I have that. But I try to have like $200 to $300 unbudgeted from my paychecks over the course of the whole year. So if I do little extra spending here or there, I kind of have a little bufferage going on. January is going to be one of the smallest ones that we see because I put more into my sinking funds to kind of even out my payments. So let's say I have a bill that's $11 a month. I would rather just pay a little extra in January and then only pull $10 out a month. I don't know why in my brain that makes sense. And so that's just kind of what I do. So I make it to where it's pretty even amounts that come out from my sinking February to December, and January is kind of this weird amount. So I typically always do a no spend month in January as well. So the less money I have, the less likely I am to overspend in January. So we are now going to write down how much of this money is going into each of the budget binders, and then we're going to pull out the money to put into the future paycheck. I typically stuff my paycheck the week that it's gonna, so like if it's coming in on a Friday, I'll typically stuff it the weekend before. That way I can kind of see what I have. I set up all my transfers, I make all my credit card payments, I just get everything set up so that way on payday, money's coming in, money's coming out, everything is paid for the month. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, I'm done. So I like to do my stuffing and kind of getting my life together about a week before I get paid. So we are going to figure out what we need to pull. So I'm going to do sinking first. I'm going to be putting $225 in a paycheck. All right, so all of those are done. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in my binder. So when I usually stuff my envelopes a few days before I get paid. That way I can set up all of my transfers into my money market account and set up my credit card payments. So this will be, I'll probably stuff this in mid-January. So this is my next paycheck, so it's ready to go. And then I'll get my savings challenges, and we'll get extra duty pulled as well. Oh my gosh, I forgot to count my paycheck money. We're just gonna hope it's right. All right, so we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 10, 20, 30, 40, 5, 50, 5, 60, 2, 4, 6, 8, 71, 171. Wow, I counted that in the awkwardest way possible. Love that for us. Okay, anyways, this is gonna go into the savings challenge section, which is right here, and then I'm going to pull my extra duty money. Okay, so this should be 675. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 50, 75. So yep, 171, 675. Okay, so thank you for being with me today. I did go ahead and I found my no spend challenge situation. I went ahead and put January. If it's green, it's gonna be nothing spent. If it's red, I spent money, and then if it's blue, that means I have budgeted spending coming out. So like my Verizon payment, or my massage, or my YouTube, you know, premiums, things like that, that I have already budgeted for, those will be blue. So I want to ideally see all blues and greens at the end of the month with very limited reds. So we'll see how this no spend challenge goes. I would love to have a month of no spending and maybe carry that vibe into February as well. So paycheck is all set up. Savings challenges, extra duty, all set up, ready to go for January. I'll be doing a whole video on my credit cards and how I track those, and yeah, do all of that stuff. So look for that video to come out shortly, but thanks for spending today with me and getting my January budget set up. Have a great Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.